Hello. Welcome to today's episode of Witcher Ways of Old. I am. I blanked for a second. I, as always, am your game master, Gilbert Ramos, aka Ramos the Nomad. We're starting off real strong today, and we missed you. We hope you're doing well. I have no announcements, so I don't see any reason to delay in meeting our heroes. So let's go ahead and do just that, shall we?
Hello, and welcome to Witcher the Ways of Old. This evening, I, Avery, shall be playing the bard extraordinaire, the debonair debutante, the cunning linguist, Calmasacre.
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night, and tonight I will be playing your favorite sorceress, Cersei Abilene.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Azure Butterfly, or Azure for short, or simply Rachel, and I am playing the Bear Witcher, Ingrid of Sintra.
Hello, I'm Az most of the time, but tonight I will be playing Relg, criminal extraordinaire. We'll see. We'll see how many warning shots he fires this time.
I look forward to the many warning shots into people's hearts. So, with that out of the way, our players and our heroes having been met, let's go ahead and jump right into today's episode of Ways of Old. And we begin, as we always do, with a recap. Ingrid, if you'd kindly.
Yes, of course. Some of the last bits of this are very rushed, so I apologize ahead of time. The episode previously began with the merry band of misfits continuing their exodus from the city of Bruges, driving deeper into southwestern lands. Ingrid driving the cart with Calamus boisterously riding shotgun, and Cersei and Relg holding up within the cart itself. After a while of driving, Ingrid pulls the cart to a stop along the side of the road for the group to catch their breath. Cersei uses magic to heal her broken arm, enough to need only a sling to care for it, Ingrid tearing her spare shirt to make said sling for her use. Relg collected the arrows he could from what impacted their cart during their escape, all the while playing catch up with everything that had happened when they split up in Bruges. Relg then performed a little touch of first aid on the captured McMage, who had, for reasons totally that aren't Ingrid's fault, been previously caught on fire. Um, Ingrid proceeds to more thoroughly search him, finding some crowns, bits and bobs, but most noticeably a satchel of fifth essence for our lovely Cersei, and a letter containing marching orders from Heron Kaduk, noting that the mage in question was supposed to find something that Cersei had taken from them. Probably the Darkhold tome taken from the Higher Vampire in Vizima. And a specially crafted music box. Ingrid plays the music box, which plays a tune immediately recognizable by Calamus and Relg, an elvish lullaby. Calamus stepping out of the cart for a breath of fresh air, followed momentarily by Relg. The two discuss the events that so swiftly happened to them over the course of the past few days, which brought them to Ingrid and Cersei. Calamus being concerned about what they had potentially gotten themselves into with their new companion's troubles, with Relg's encouraging words and realizing that they are now part of this. Calamus relents, and the two rejoin the group. Ingrid starts the horse and drives them deeper into the forest, finding a safe spot for them to make camp for the evening. While on the way, Ingrid returns the pressed flower that Calamus had given her for luck, and the two share a moment with Ingrid talking about a bit about her past love and her fondness for snowdrops, as well as her fate as a witcher. Calamus telling her some words of hope and encouragement that makes Ingrid pause and think deeper. As the party makes camp, the McMage stirs, curious as to why he's alive, and the questioning begins. Relg pulling him out of the cart and Ingrid tying him to a nearby tree before pulling her sword out and standing by as sentry, ready to play bad cop to Cersei and Calamus's good cop, Relg all the while standing by in case things go thoroughly wrong, which we all anticipated. Through quick investigation, Calamus noted the mage's slight elven heritage. Even with Cersei's skilled words, the initial interrogation gave no real answers, only reinforcing the mage's allegiance to Renwick and that he was seeking something Cersei had taken from them. However, as Calamus begins to play the same lullaby as the music box on his lyre, the mage begins to buckle. After another failed attempt to interrogate him after the music is played, Calamus quickly shoos away the group to give the mage a night in the cold. Relg staying behind a moment, attempting to connect with the mage through their shared heritage to no avail. As the group reconvene out of earshot, it is agreed upon to approach the mage one by one through the evening, taking turns via watch rotation. To help sell that Calamus might not be on the best terms of the group, he suggested that we yell and hit him for show. Ingrid, not quite getting the for show part, grabbed him by the throat, lifting him up and punching him in the gut, to at least the desired effect. As the watch begins, Relg takes the first rotation, once again attempting to leverage her shared heritage to their advantage. However, he does not consider himself as such and refused to give in to the conversation at hand. However, the mage would attempt to persuade Relg to join his and Renwick's cause instead, offering the power to fix and change things to as they should be, even going so far as to tell Relg that the item in question was a tome in Cersei's possession, talking about some of the secrets and power it may contain. Cersei would take the next watch, attempting to approach him as a fellow mage, the subject of the tome, the war with Nilfgaard, and Aretuza being brought up to some of the differences in their tutelage. However, he reinforces that Renwick is the only future. Ingrid takes the third watch, pulling out both her steel and silver swords, approaching him not as a friend, but giving him an offer, a choice to fight for what's truly right and to die as himself or to die as a monster. The mage then using his knowledge and understanding of the time that he spent at Heron Kaduk to attempt to rile her up, desiring her to harm him. However, using Axie, as is tradition, to ask him why he wants to help Renwick, the mage breaks and admits to wish to use the power of the book to bring his father back. Once Axie dissipates, the mage screams, drawing the attention of the rest of the group. It's Calamus's turn now, attempting to use Ingrid's actions, with the mage attempting to use Ingrid's actions to bait Calamus into sympathy, saying that she had wounded him. Calamus approached this not as the others had, but in even a more sympathetic way, appealing to their better side, relating aspects of his own story to sway him. Also bringing up the music box and the mage's father to trauma bomb and trauma bond, as I wrote in the text, successfully breaking the mage, convincing him that he could be made safe from Renwick. And that is how the episode went.
Thank you very much, Ingrid Succinct, as always. I love the note, as a note before we peer our camera through, I love that no matter how many times real names are given, it will continuously remain the Darkhold and McMage.
To be fair, the Darkhold is called a French name. I can't pronounce that.
I would also like to note that in every instance of me talking about the McMage outside of the campaign, I've refused to use Wesrold, and I always call him Wesley, Walnut, Wilbur, or the like.
I can't wait for Calamus to learn the actual name of the Darkhold and actually give a full pronunciation for all of us.
That would be fantastic.
Et parlez-vous français, oui?
There's no inspiration for me to give you. I'm sorry. Let's begin where we left off. Calamus, we left off on you playing a song. Gwyn, Blath, Petals were the final tune of the evening into the morning sun. You play. Time passes. I will freely give this moment to all of you. This is where we left off. This is where the song began. If there is anything you wish to do, the scene is yours. But let's begin with Calamus. If there is anything else in addition, by all means.
I think one of the first things Calamus will do, because we did have a cold camp, correct? We didn't light any fires or anything. Calamus is going to check the cart for some fire starting equipment and maybe a kettle and some tea leaves or something of that nature. Get a fire going, get the teapot on. And I think Calamus will make their way to wherever Circe was finding her rest that evening, and just kind of like, I know we're in tents, but just kind of like knock on the tent pole like gently.
If you recall, as a part of your facade, Circe had stormed off with a "I'm sleeping in the cart," as if that was somehow less comfortable than sleeping in a tent on the ground.
So he'll just knock on the... Actually, he's in there getting the teapot and everything, so he'll just kind of like gently, like, trying to, without touching her, just like the edge of like whatever pillow she's using, just kind of like nudge it. Because Calamus understands that people get very testy when you touch them while they sleep. Just kind of like zhuzh it a little bit.
She's a light sleeper. She'll wake up. Yes.
I was wondering a few things, actually. One, where might I find the tea leaf? It was a cold evening, and I think a nice warm cup of tea might do us all some good this morning.
Yeah. She'll point to where she keeps all the edible leaves and flowers.
Calamus will then see that he left his journal open in the cart when he ran out of the cart at the screaming, and will get super wide-eyed really quick and just grab it, shut it, lock it really quick, and put it in his bag.
I feel like she was too busy rubbing her eyes to notice.
That was a close one. Yes, so I made some ground with Wezrel.
You did? What happened?
Yes. He has seen logic. I believe he's ready to part ways with Renwick, as long as we could provide him some manner of safety in return. Not with us, of course, but finding a suitable place.
Of course.
And I don't know how the societies of Magi function. Would he be safe at Aretusa? Or nearby?
Yes. He would be safe. Just worry if Renwick would find him.
Is the next concern of mine as well. If we sent him back to Bruges, do you think that the underground that you met there, do you think they could get him to Aretusa safely?
For a fee? Yes. But I can pay that fee.
I trust him. I understand his pain. And the worst case scenario, if Aretuza is where we can send him for his own safety, he will be surrounded by mages infinitely more powerful than himself and will be easily neutralized.
Yes, that's true. I would need to find... I could send him with a letter. Yes, okay, that works.
I have one more question.
Of course.
I know that your relationship with whoever Renwick is taken captive is very important to you.
Mhm.
What is that like? How does it feel?
She like took in a sharp breath and then she deflates. Oh, um, it's its own magic.
Of course, of course. Well then, we should get a fire going and get some tea on and rouse the others from their evening's rest and deliberate upon the fate of dear Wezrel.
Cersei,
Right.
you looked like you might have had some questions.
Oh, yes, Cersei will, at the mention of Elodie, would actually... Yeah, I need to ask him something. Actually.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I think that's a great idea. I think we probably all have questions now that he's a bit more amenable
Mm-hmm.
to answering them honestly. So why don't I get the fire and the teapot going, and I'll rouse the others, and perhaps the questions that you would like to ask, you would like a bit of privacy, so I'll make sure it takes me a moment to get the fire going before I awaken the others.
Thank you.
Of course, I do what I can, and I am a man of means when I care to be.
You're very kind, Calamus.
Wish that were true. Calamus will nod his head and grab a little bundle of firewood in the teapot and, like, holding way too much stuff in his arms, just hop out of the cart and begin to get, the teapot going and everything.
Cersei will brush her hair, brush her teeth, throw on her corset, and put her face on quickly, and also head out of the cart.
Understood. In this moment, we'll rewind just a bit. While this conversation is happening within the cart, without Ingrid and Relg, where are you? What are you up to?
It's morning, right? Crack of dawn.
Indeed.
Ingrid's gonna go out and hunt for some food for us.
Noted. With what weaponry and or provisions, Ingrid?
Wow, you know what? That's a good question. I could pre-cook the food by using Igni.
Like we have food. I mean, we have a teapot. We have food cooking material.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
she's
do
just
you-
gonna take her.
Made it sound like tea is a food group, and you know what? I approve.
You heard it here first, folks. Tea is a food group.
I guess she's gonna try to because I realize that she doesn't really have ranged on her unless she borrows something from Relg. But even then, she's not really skilled in archery, so she's gonna hunt as she had hunted before, trying to just be quiet and get as close as she can.
I mean, Rogue's been on the edge of the clearing because he refuses to take his eyes off the mage that he's not friends with. He's tired, but he has a bow.
Understood. Relg, you would see Ingrid leave. Into the forest, blade in hand, attempting to be deft and light of foot. I
will say she took her armor off for this.
Yeah, you can. I think you've been around long enough that you can kind of see a sort of assassin's stance, as it were, as she crouches into the woods of the setting sun, or the morning sun, I should say.
Okay, so yeah, Rogue's gonna kind of look at the mage, having seen that he's. Is he more complacent?
He has fallen asleep with tears in his eyes.
In that case, Rogue's gonna take a look back at the cart, look at the mage, and then go follow Ingrid. Just in case.
Understood. Do you wish to remain hidden, Relg?
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Some rolls from the both of you, then.
You don't want to cramp my style?
No, the buddy system.
The buddy system, indeed. From Relg, I would like stealth and dex. From Ingrid, I would like... Ooh, this is kind of a fun one, actually. I will take, in this case, either intelligence awareness or intelligence wilderness survival from you, Ingrid.
My awareness is better, so I'm going to go for that one.
Fair enough.
22.
So my awareness is
22.
6
Wait.
plus 7 is 13 plus 20.
Relg, you remain hidden. As a reminder, your luck is refilled this session, the start of every session.
Yes, all three of them.
All three of them.
Use all my... I'm kidding about this, but use all my luck just to notice Relk.
Relg, you are hidden from sight. Ingrid, you believe you are alone.
I'm as stealthy as a cat. With my 1 point in stealth.
Ingrid, with an awareness of 20, however, there is not much that will shy away from your sight. Nothing will be able to hide beneath brush. You are attuned to the forest and the wilderness around you. You can hear rustling of leaves. You can hear the birds crying out their new songs of the day. Your hunt begins. What are you looking for? Anything in particular, Ingrid?
Honestly, we have a decent amount of people, so it's going to need to be something substantial. So probably not a rabbit or hare or anything like that, but definitely at least a deer of some sort or anything of comparable size.
Understood. I would like you now, in addition to your awareness roll, I would like you to make a stealth roll. As you are not using really ranged, you are attempting to kind of sneak up, get close enough to within striking distance, and land a blow.
Boar would do good too. I've had boar before. So that's 1 plus my dexterity, which well, my armor is off right now, so I'm just in my normal clothes. So the issue that I was having before, with having a negative to my dex, is not currently present, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's a base 12 then. Okay. 21.
21. Rogue, she's quiet. You keep sight. You keep eye on. But she steps carefully, avoiding older leaves that will crack and break. She steps very carefully, and you follow behind, even quieter. Both of you twin shadows this morning.
You had to survive somehow, not somehow. All these years.
I think noticing how quiet she is, realizing that she's got a pretty good chance of remaining quiet, Rogue's gonna start looking around for anything we could use. Like any sort of herbs that Calamus would have pointed out, anything that Cersei could have
Very
used.
fun.
Because I actually pulled up my whole elf thing and I was like, I can do that.
Some foraging then. Is there anything in particular that you wish to use?
Given how fucked up we keep getting, maybe something that could help with healing and burns.
Healing
we
and
got
burns.
Cersei's healing magic. We're fine.
I am not an infinite well of stamina.
Not
That's
yet.
That's only really
Not-
half true.
Not with that attitude, you're not.
Damn, you right.
Overexert.
Never.
Overexert on healing when with what overexertion has shown me, I don't think that'd be good.
3. Alright. So it's foraging and what?
This is going to be... So you... Foraging. Let's see.
Yeah. Foraging is a craft skill.
That's forgery.
That is forgery.
Never mind. I'm dyslexic.
No, it's
Did you
okay.
know?
It took me a second too, because when you said that it was there, I automatically believed you, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I gotta put weight.
I gotta put some dots. Oh yeah, no, never mind.
Calamus, you look
I
like
was
you have
wondering why
something.
that was so high.
I was just going to make some snarky comment about forgery and foragery, but I'll just keep that one to myself.
I
Wouldn't it be
appreciate
alchemy?
you.
Wouldn't it technically be alchemical?
Or
It
wilderness
would
survival.
Wilderness
not.
survival.
Oh,
Thank
wilderness
you.
survival.
It would be wilderness survival, yes. Wilderness survival and intelligence round.
Okay. Alright. So good at this.
I believe in you. You got this.
As a reminder, you have your luck.
Oh, 13.
13.
13.
Not bad. We will return to Relg and Ingrid and their endeavors very shortly. In this moment, though, we are going to withdraw back into the camp where Calamus and Cersei are currently residing. Calamus, you are setting up a fire and some tea. Cersei, you had questions for the mage.
Yeah,
By all means.
he's sleeping. And she feels kind of bad. A little.
I mean, he should at least be warm with the blanket I wrapped around him last night, so there's that at least.
Yeah.
Ingrid is shaking her head.
EP mage.
As we're walking, Ingrid stops.
Yeah, exactly. I sense a really weird disturbance.
Oh. Anyway, she will kneel next to him and gently put her hand on his shoulder and shake him.
You do this. His eyes sort of flutter open. They don't dart. He just kind of groggily looks upwards. You can tell he's not entirely awake. He looks at you and
I know
sigh.
it's been a long night. We're making tea. She likes them.
It would.
Okay. She would look at the shackles. She can't touch them. She can't mess with them. But she'd be very apprehensive to take them off just yet.
Do you try to hide this look at all, Cersei? Or is this more of just kind of to yourself in the open?
Yeah, she's not hiding it.
notices and says, I don't blame you.
Yeah. What would you do in my shoes, you know?
A few hours ago, worse.
Fair. About that, what change of heart?
A change of direction, nothing more. My heart is still torn. But your friend is convincing.
I'm noticing that. Well, it will be a minute before it's ready. I'll get you that tea. Yeah, she would, kind of, she's like crouched, her knees up to her chin, and looks like she's thinking. And then she finally says, how long? How long has she been there?
Not terribly long.
Oh.
A number of weeks at most. But even then, we were only able to keep her on the grounds. She was not bound to one place. She hid and ran. We had to isolate, to lock doors from the inside, nothing in or out.
Sounds like she was tricksy.
She fled from room to room. We were all afraid to sleep.
Good.
It was only about a fortnight, perhaps, if that we were able to corner her.
I see. I saw that he has monsters hurting her.
The arcane.
Mm-hmm.
His favorite tools.
Interesting. I know I know you just woke up and it's been a long night, but I can't help but have so many questions.
I wish I could say I would be able to give you all the answers. I feel the need to confess. I need to clarify this. Your friend is convincing he is not magic. He is not. This doesn't make us friends, Cersei Aveline. I don't wish to be in your little group,
Oh,
whatever you may call it. But
no, I wasn't expecting.
Nor do I wish to cause you direct harm. Not for his purposes.
She'd raise an eyebrow. No, I didn't expect you to like me overnight. But we needn't be enemies either.
I agree.
I was thinking, for your protection, storyteller, I'm blanking. I'm so sorry. What city is Aretusa the part of?
That is an excellent question, because even I have quickly forgotten. However, my handy
love.
dandy.
What was that?
I actually don't know the answer to this one. I'm so sorry.
We're all. No. I feel so bad. I should know this.
It's on Thanet Island in
Yes.
Temeria, the country.
Mm.
Which city, though? I believe that was the question.
Yeah.
Stand by.
I can't believe I forgot this. I feel so dumb.
Gorsvelen, Northwest Gorsvelen.
Gorsvelen. Okay. Yeah, that was nowhere in my brain.
We're fans of The Witcher, believe it or not.
Clearly.
Thank you,
It's
Etchison.
true.
We love you.
Mm-hmm.
Your protection. I was thinking, you may not be a fan of this, but you could stay in Gorsvelen. Aretusa.
He openly scoffs Cersei.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
He says, I don't mean to be rude, but no. No. I have survived without the need for others so magically inclined. I'm not going to crawl my way to Aretusa and beg the sorceresses for their aid.
It'd be much begging. It'd be a favor to me, but I understand.
And that would only put me in debt to you, Cersei Aveline.
Well, I can't. I would be lying if I said it wouldn't. But all I require is information, if that were to be agreed upon.
I'm in no position to request anything. So you understand the disparity, the power differences.
I do. I want to see you safe. I do.
You have something, Calamus?
Would now be an appropriate time for Calamus to be approaching with some warm cups of tea?
Absolutely.
I think so.
Go for it.
Yeah, so Calamus will hand Cersei a cup of tea and then gently bring it to his lips and blow the heat off the surface and then raise it to Wezeral's lips and give him a little schmeckle.
Schmeckle. He
Schmeckle.
sips. You can hear the slurping. There's something different about warm tea on a cold morning. Perhaps it's the fact that it cools easier and quicker and allows you to enjoy said tea a bit more quickly. Or perhaps it's the difference in temperature, the flow of warmth through the body and the esophagus. He drinks deeply, Calamus.
You must forgive me, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but of course you weren't speaking quietly either. If you're not willing to take up Cersei on her offer, which I understand, but I do think maybe a little hasty on your behalf, Wezeril, there may be one other avenue, and I would be cashing in the only favor I have with this group of people. It would mean something. I would be losing a very valuable resource. But
Then
if you would be obliged to accept it, I would ask for nothing in return but your continued friendship.
Then my answer is no, minstrel. I will take nothing more from you. I will make my own way. If you all see fit to release me, I know where I will go.
Where?
To the heart of Nilfgaardian magic. To Gwynsenhall.
The White Flame is not your ally. You've said so much. Why? Why would you? I understand keeping one's enemies closer than one's friends. Assuredly. But what if I were to offer you a different path? Just hear me out. I know you're not in a place where you'd like to consider it, but I am owed some favors in Dol Blathana. You would be amongst your people.
They are not my people.
That song you enjoy so much seems to say differently.
And does every drinking song you sing make every listener a drunkard?
At the time, yes. You are of elvish blood. It matters not how little or how great. I've heard so. From the person who owes me a favor. Elvish blood will be elvish blood. The Aeolshi, this is your home. We humans, we came through so much later. You should go. Discover who you are. Who your father wanted you to be.
I am a mage. I am, as you say, of elvish blood. I'm unsure of your time in the Nilfgaardian territories, Calamus. But have you heard of what the North does to elves? The White Flame is not my ally, but the North is an active enemy. They took my father from me.
I've written songs about what the North does to elves. I'm not unaware that being an elf means having few allies. But take heart, man. Acknowledge your truth. What I hear in your words is not. It is not self-reliance. that moves you. It is the fear that you will rely on someone who will fail you.
Calamus, make a persuasion check. Cersei, you may feel free to grant a bonus to this roll if you so choose with
Absolutely.
your previous argument. Calamus, you're going to be taking a +2 to your roll. As you roll this, our camera will pan to the hunting party, the hunting and foraging for survival. Relg, you have, with your roll, managed to pick out some of the herbs nearby that would be helpful in treating burns. Even to the effect of not exactly healing, but drawing out the heat and relieving pain. As far as healing herbs, there are things that numb pain, nothing that will help with the speeding up of the process, but there are things for pain. So, mechanically speaking, these herbs would help reduce the penalty to certain injuries.
Perfect.
Because I was drawn into RP, I do not have the names for you, but I would like you to denote 6 units of, I think it's just aloe in the book, ALOE, as in aloe vera, and then 6 units of numbing herbs, which I again will get these proper names for you very shortly.
All right.
Ingrid,
Yes.
with your awareness roll previously, your stealth roll previously, you creep through the wilderness and you find yourself hidden as a creature is munching at something green. It's your quarry. The very creature you sought to find. A simple deer. What do you do?
She's going to watch it for a moment, make sure it's thoroughly distracted, eating, and then with a very, very careful and practiced breath, having done stuff like this over the course of the past almost 60 years of her life, start making her way, creeping up on the creature, blade in hand.
I'm going to make a roll to see if this creature notices you, taking your previous stealth roll.
Thank God I rolled high.
The thing that takes us all out. This random deer.
Oh my god. I'm gonna start charging.
Dark Souls of tabletop. Let's go. If you're listening, Sap, I'm so sorry.
You creep.
I've been painting that. What was it?
You creep. You are very soon within striking distance.
Knowing where to aim, she's going to attempt to tackle the creature and drive her blade swiftly and carefully, aiming to end its life as quickly as possible without much bloodshed or pain.
I require no attack roll It's over quickly. You give it peace. A swift, clean death. Over before it even realizes what's happening. A meal is hunted.
And as she finishes pulling out the blade, she's just going to be quiet there for a moment, letting it pass, resting a hand upon it and saying thank you, before picking it up, throwing it over her shoulder, and starting to make her way back.
Oh, when you turn around, there's a Relg.
Dad!
Morning.
Were you there the whole...
Ask if you needed a hand with that, but you look like you're doing fine on your own. Lady Witcher.
I didn't hear you even there. Hi, no, I'm fine, I think, unless you want to hold this, but
You know, I think that deer is in more capable hands on your shoulders than mine.
Yes, are you doing okay?
Can't complain, I suppose. It was a long night.
Yes, I felt it better that I should separate myself this morning from them. They said some upsetting things to me last night that he is lucky to be alive. I will say that.
I will say I am surprised you didn't stab him right in the heart.
The drive was there, but Cersei's words rang in my head as well. And if she thinks we shouldn't kill them, then I won't, regardless of how I feel. But he made light of the death of my brothers and the loss of my home. And for that I cannot forgive him.
He did seem to be making quite a scene.
He also seemed to make it seem like my Axie had hurt him, but that does not hurt anyone, as far as I know, at least.
I found when you find yourself in a situation where you don't think you're going to get out and the consequences could be rather painful, best to try and get yourself killed.
Quite. Well, if I'm being honest, knowing Renwick, having survived what I have over the years, 3 direct attacks from him now. Renwick does not leave loose ends open. Renwick hunts loose ends for fun, plays with them, breaks them, and then kills them. The mage is already dead. He just doesn't know it yet. Or maybe he does.
I'm pretty sure he does know it, Lady Witcher. I'm fairly certain.
Yes.
Given what I've heard. Just depends on how useful he is before you catch up with him.
My bother, if you will, in this subject is he has ideas of our numbers, how we camp, some of our movement. Should he be captured and tortured, it is possible he may divulge information. He could also be lying to get out, to go back to Renwick. Whatever offers, I find myself unable to trust someone like him. No matter what their heritage might be, no matter what their background might be.
I find it hard to trust his kind, to be honest. I
She
understand.
furrows her brow
all
at that
that.
and tilts her head.
As we're walking and talking.
Yes, we're walking. We are walking and talking, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trigonal.
The first mage I've ever met that I haven't had an issue with is your friend.
Really, you do not have to share what you do not feel comfortable with. I understand somewhat that some subjects are touchy, both from what others have told me and from my own first-hand experience. Also, I apologize. I tend to overstate some things.
In friendly company, it's never a bad thing to overstate. Make sure you know you're on the same page.
Quite. It. Otherwise, I feel like it tends to lead me into very awkward situations. But you are more than welcome to share your pains with me if you desire.
That's the thing about it. If you're ashamed of something or you're trying to hide something, usually it gets used against you. So I find it best to just not. Oh, except for when we go into certain towns. My kind have a bad reputation, if you haven't heard.
I've gotten around over the. Are they okay?
I won't hold her while we game. I'm a monster.
We stand puppies in this household.
She's a good dog.
Ingrid will nod her head as she listens, and she'll say, "That is very understandable. I have been around for, I may not look it, but I am nearing 60. What is today? Today?
That is an excellent question. The week
Storyteller?
before we met you, I don't know.
Storyteller, do we know exactly what
storyteller.
day it is?
I'll tell you, Stelly. Go lay down. You're okay.
It is near the end of May. Well, not exactly the end of May. You are approaching the end of May. An exact date. I would give you.
I would say, as we're waiting for the storyteller's response on this, you see Ingrid counting on her open fingers for a
Perfect.
second.
I appreciate
Absolutely. Full on. Being like,
You
what
see
day
you
is today?
see her
Just
stumble for a second and then like restart counting.
It is about the 20th of May by your last count. You might be a day off. It could be the 19th or the 21st.
In about a week's time, I will be reaching my 60th year.
it's nice to have someone around my own age to be around then.
Really? I know your kind age differently. How old are you?
What's the year? 78? Sounds right.
It has been some time since I have been around someone closer to my age as well. Most of my companions are either drastically younger or drastically older than myself.
Well, okay, well, let's be fair. I've been around a lot of humans that are my age, but they're usually not long for the world. And don't spend a lot of time around other elves.
Ingrid's gonna grin and say tea time with the older folk. I see. Yes.
Mostly the drunks. While I listen to Cal play.
This is such a neurodivergent conversation.
But no, you're asking. My ears. Mages. I understand our friend there. Making deals with people more powerful than him to sign his own death warrant.
Yes. And for what it's worth, as a Witcher, it's not the same, but I do not get good eyes at myself often. I am quite often called mutant, freak, That's why I do not stay long in the towns that I go to.
That's why I keep my hood up. Makes it easier. For some reason, they can always tell, though. Maybe it's because of the fights I start.
I never understood it. You shouldn't have to.
There shouldn't, and then there's how it is.
The humans will always find something to hate, it seems.
They will. I'll find something to hate, something to complain about, something to start a war over. All you can do is survive it, and if you can, live through it.
It is around this point in the conversation that you would make your way back at the cresting at the edge of camp. And at this point, I would require that roll, the number you had rolled, Calamus.
I wrote it down. 24.
24. Is that including Cersei's bonus?
Yep.
Excellent. 24. Rolling to see how stubborn Wesril can be. So you would have me, what? Reintegrate. Learn my culture.
No. Your father would have that. I'm merely trying to get you to listen to him.
Suppose Hall isn't going anywhere. We will give this a chance. Lord knows that my decisions up to this point have put me in quite the predicament.
When you arrive there, you will ask for an audience with the King Philavandrel. You will tell him the boy who fed him in the valley has sent you. He'll know. And if it pleases you, do try to deal with his personality.
There's no verbal response, he just nods. Calamus, Cersei, you see your friends approaching.
He'll stand.
Tea time! Yes, tea time, isn't it? Good morning.
And breakfast,
Well,
she says as
Far
she
too lively.
hoists the decently sized deer on her that she's carrying into camp.
Wow. Thank you.
Good show, Lady Witcher. Good show.
Cersei, Ingrid is once again covered in blood.
The most common sight in this.
Elmas will lean over to Cersei and be like, I imagine her laundering bill is long.
Quite long.
She just furrows her brow, unsure what's going on, and then she looks to the mage kind of looks a little angrily at him, grits her teeth, but does not say a word. As she makes, you said you made a campfire, correct?
Yes, yes.
She's going to just silently walk over to the campfire, where the campfire is, place the deer down, and start. I'm not going to go into detail, obviously, but cleaning and preparing.
Why don't we all warm our bones and discuss the contents of the morning and yestereve?
Sure.
Mm. Oh, Kyle, here. And Rel will reach in, grab the bag, like slap the herbs to his chest. Do the thing that you do with those.
And seeing this, seeing that would ring something in Cersei's mind, she'll turn to the mage. Your burns. May I?
I'll bear them a bit longer, if that's quite all right with you.
Sure.
Ingrid cleans a little more vigorously.
So,
And she'll
obviously, your two's morning was fruitful. So I'm
I
going
wanted-
to say this, but first, Lady Ingrid, I would very much like it if you put the knife down.
He's just going to turn an eye towards him. Obviously not the same angry expression as she's, gave the mage, but actually a very curious one, and she's just going to say, do you not want breakfast? Do you not want food?
Breakfast can wait a singular moment, I think.
Very well. She does a little twist with the knife and then drives it to the ground.
Hungry.
So,
Alright.
Wezerl has agreed to part ways with Renwick.
Do we know this is a truth?
Do you
There was
trust
a lot
me?
of crying.
Just as a logistical question, where is this conversation taking place in reference to Resrold?
At the campfire.
I feel like we're like in a huddle.
We're all huddled around the fire with the carcass, with the tea, just like he's off, still tied to the tree. It's super awkward for him. It's
At the
fine.
campfire,
The cup of tea just set by his leg. He's just like,
You just give him a big straw.
So, do you trust me, Ingrid?
I mean, as far as I've known you, you seem nice, but trust comes with time, proper trust. I trust Cersei. I think you and Relg are good.
I trust him.
Trustworthy for you two. Yes, good. Well, I'm not going to go that far.
Right, yes. Well, I believe him. We had a long talk about things. I believe we've reached an accord, and, worst case scenario, the place that he is going, I trust him not to act out of turn there.
I'm pretty sure with how easy it was for me to take him down, anywhere we sent him would be able to take him down. That is not my concern. My concern is wherever we send him, you risk Renwick and his forces showing up there. So make sure you keep in mind, and this is coming from experience of someone who has had 3 big encounters with him, one of those including seeing him manipulating humans into taking my home from me. So wherever you send him, just be prepared for Renwick to do whatever he needs to do to get to him and to tie up loose ends.
I do believe the magics of Dol Blathana will make that quite difficult for Renwick.
What does Ingrid know about that? Would you say?
I'm going to need you to refine the question, Ingrid. What do you mean by
What
about
is
that?
there's two questions there then. What does Ingrid know about Dol Blathana, and what does Ingrid know about the protections around it?
I am afraid this is one of the rare occasions where I don't even think a roll is suitable in this scenario. Dol Blathana is... the protections around Dol Blathana would not be known to you, as well as the location itself. Rather than exposit at you, I will turn this over to players. Calamus, you are quite familiar with Dol Blathana. If you would kindly exposit a bit about the general public knowledge, if you are comfortable, of course.
So everyone is aware that Dol Blathana exists. Not many people know where it is, however.
Mhm.
It is the idea of a land that is elvish by elvish nature.
Yeah, it's a pseudo sacred land.
Yes. And the current understanding is that the elvish magic users there are rediscovering some of the old ways, that they're tapping into the magics of the land, that they are both magically and martially skilled. The precise nature of that, even to Calamus, who's been there several times, isn't completely understood or known or even aware of.
So those magical practices, even if rumor, are still commonly known? Because I think Ingrid would only know it's commonly known.
I mean,
I'm just trying to get a grasp of what Ingrid knows so I can give a
as far
proper
as what
response.
would be commonly known, I mean, it's this mysterious stronghold of the elves.
Okay.
It's
Then Ingrid's going to look to Calamus with a furrowed brow, and she's just going to say, I know the place exists, but what protections does it have then? What
there
makes him safe from Renwick there?
there are magics at work that I cannot fully understand. Also, and I mean no offense to your very, very impressive martial skill, Lady Ingrid, the greatest warrior I have ever known resides in Dol Blathana. The king of the elves, Philivandrel, works a blade as a minstrel works a tune. He is...
He plays it?
yes. War and death is a plaything for the king Philivandrel.
She's just looking down at the dagger that's like in the ground and very like curious at it for a second before turning her eyes back to Calamus.
I mean, if we want to get a bit more into what that would mean, we're not taking him, right?
No, he would be traveling in secret on his own. I believe that the best route for that would be to send him back to Bruges and have him go with the folk that you discovered, you and Cersei discovered around, that can ferry him from place to place unseen.
As Ingrid's listening to this, she's going to look to Cersei and she's going to say, did you ask how many other mages are under Renwick's command that may be able to find him?
I tried to start asking questions. He doesn't want to answer them.
Like it or not, we have to start somewhere trusting people. You said it yourself, Ingrid, we can't do this alone.
If you want to get into the logistics of it, if he makes it, getting him out is going to be... It's not worth the cost. Seemed like he was lower on whatever the structure is in Renwick's employee.
I am, what's the phrase, outnumbered here on this, so I will defer it to the group. I'm not trying to change your minds if this is what you're set on doing, just making sure you understand what I know and what I experience, and you can weigh the decision based on that. I have been fighting Renwick in this battle off and on for over 40 years.
He could also not leave the camp.
His life is worth something. All our lives are worth something. It doesn't matter how high or low he was in any sort of power structure Renwick has. He's a living person with dreams and love in his heart. I understand that we do things, Relg. But have we ever not made sure, since we've been together, we've talked about this, that we haven't made sure that the people that we do things to are bad people. People who have earned them.
I wish.
Since when is being the one on the opposite end of the lash worthy of death?
I was just making a suggestion on courses of action. If that's not the one we want to take, we don't have to take that one. And I wasn't speaking from a personal perspective of what it's worth. It seems like Renwick doesn't value life the way you do, Cal.
And that's why we'll win.
Cersei will smile. Look down and smile.
It takes a single stone to change the flow of a river. That stone need not be large, but it only takes a single stone. Perhaps there's something Renwick did in front of him because he didn't value him that could be the single secret we need to defeat him. So I think getting him somewhere safe and making an ally, having eyes somewhere else, this is what I do. And I trust him.
All right.
Ingrid is going to look to Cersei, just looking to see just to get a gauge, even though she's not great at reading people, just to get a gauge at what pretty much, and no offense, the only person she actually trusts in this situation feels.
Cersei will look up for taking everything in and say, I'd be lying if I said I like it, but I do trust him.
I truly wish that I could share your sentiments. And she's going to look to Calamus and she's going to say, please do not mistake my willingness to kill him as not having a lack of empathy or sympathy, but as a means of survival, and also a means of potentially sparing him from what I've seen Renwick do to others. My words to him to die as himself or to die a monster was not meant out of spite, even though he made light of my suffering, of the death of my brothers, the fall of my home. I do not kill needlessly, and I do not kill out of anger, save those only for Renwick. I may not trust you, but I do believe you. And I do apologize, but it is just the plain truth that we have only known each other for a couple of days.
You're right. You're right.
Ingrid is going to kind of look over towards where the mage is, and then back to the group, and then she's going to say, "You ask that I trust your decision on this, then I have but one request. Let me pull the truth from him one more time, with his, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god, I fucking hate consent. I fucking hate my brain. With his consent, of course. I won't force him, but I would like the honest truth of what would happen should Renwick capture him, or what his intent actually is upon leaving this camp."
Let me talk to him. Prepare him for your questioning, and I don't think that's an unreasonable course of action.
Very well.
Also, maybe get some breakfast ready. People usually
She's
more agreeable.
just grabbing the dagger again and starting to clean the finish up. Let's start cooking.
As a breakfast is prepared,
Make Ramos hungry.
it takes some time to dress and clean an entire deer. You have plenty of time to discuss, to prepare the mage for questioning. And as you do all this, we are going to take a brief intermission. We will see you all very shortly after we take a quick break for Tech and Bio. We'll see you soon. We return to our story of the ways of old. As I said, it takes a bit of time to dress down and prepare an entire deer. You may do this, and I will say, even with how long you were alone in the wilderness and adorable, on your own, Ingrid, you may do this deftly and very well, even quicker than most. So,
I'm doing some 6 spins with the knife.
6 spins with the knife. So, this is done. Calamus, you prepare the mage for further questioning. Takes some time again to do this, so you may have your own conversations. You may pass along information. You may do what you wish.
I'm just having the image in my mind of Calamus talking to the mage while Ingrid is just in the background.
She's really quite nice. She's going to just ask you a few questions, just viscera spray.
As Relg's sitting there with daggers, just skewering on cubes of meat and shoving them in the fire.
Oh, yes, help me with this. Let's make a display.
Yeah, I think Calamus's big sticking point is, like, eventually when the conversation moves past the, okay, Ingrid's gonna ask you questions. I think the fuck not. No, for real, dude. Like, she's gonna ask you some questions. I think once it gets to that point, Calamus is just kind of like, this is the ticket to your freedom. We won't have the agreement of the rest of my compatriots if there's not answering of the questions. And unfortunately, I wish there was something I could do, but part of Lady Ingrid's stipulations were that you comply under the duress of magic.
Take some convincing, Calamus, but there is, after some time, an agreement reached. He will comply. He's not really in a position to bargain. So he will comply.
And Calamus will help him finish his tea, and when there's food ready, Calamus will also feed him. Kind of help him shimmy around the tree, so he's kind of got the morning sun to help warm him up as well.
Understood.
Ingrid cooks her meat like medium rare. You're not going to get it another way. That's the perfect way to cook it, and I will hear no other answer.
That's fair.
We're not getting into this right now. We're in the middle of the game, baby. Okay.
Chef, I'm shutting off my chef brain right now.
I mean, that's all.
There we go.
It's deer, and I have opinions, but like Calamus,
medium's
I
okay
will-
too.
I have
Don't.
opinions.
No, we're in the middle of game. We're in the middle of game. Okay.
I swear I'm
Shut
not
it
baiting.
down. Shut it down.
You monster! Okay, let's keep going.
We'll bombard her later, Calamus. That is atrocious.
I do know venison is different. I promise you. I am.
Okay, all right.
We're questioning a mage.
Questioning
Yes.
mage.
We are
So-
questioning mage.
Yeah. After he's been fed and sort of like turned and moved into the sun, Calamus will approach everyone else and look at Ingrid very pointedly. He's accepted your terms. He's ready to acquiesce to your questioning. Although, if I could ask a personal favor,
Go on.
be gentle with him.
I don't know why everybody
I mean,
seems to think that Axie
no-
hurts. Axie is
No,
painless.
no. I mean, with the questions that you ask.
Oh, I'm
He's
just going to
fragile.
ask him.
He's fragile.
He is a mage. Yes.
We're
Mentally,
talking
Ingrid.
lore.
Mentally, he's
Oh.
fragile.
I mean,
Understood.
he did take quite a beating with the fire and the cart, and so, I mean, he's tough, but
He did handle my Igni backfire very well.
That's what happened.
emotionally, though,
Oh,
especially.
Azure forgot that you don't know and y'all saw that.
We'll need to talk about that.
Ingrid's just gonna clear her throat a few times. But she
Very
will
well.
nod her head.
Great. So Calamus will sit down and, for the first time all morning, eat something himself and have his own cup of tea.
Oh,
I've only cooked steak myself. I've never cooked venison myself. How do you cook venison that's different than steak? Temperature
Sweet.
wise.
This will take a while. We are doing this after game.
Okay. Because Azure just
I
cooks
love
their
you.
steak medium
Stop.
rare. Okay. All right. Ingrid is going to place the dagger down next to what's left of the carcass. Kind of like take a little rag from her person and just clean her hands off, but not cleaning the rest of her off. She is still covered in blood. And she is just going to make her way over to the mage, stare down at him for a moment, take a breath before, once again, just like the night before, kneeling in front of him. Does he say anything as I approach, as I kneel, as I stare him in his eyes?
You have questions, Lady Witcher.
I do. And you have agreed to answer. forgive me if I can't take your word without the use of Axie. Seriously, you do know Renwick's methods.
Whatever makes you feel safest.
As he says that, casting Axie. And are you going to make me roll for this? Because he's willing?
I'm going to make you use the roll for Axie, but
Mhm.
there's going to be no resistance.
Got you.
As a reminder, your luck is still present.
We're going to use 2 points of luck on this, just to be... So I'm down to 6 luck. Ugh, jeez.
Oh,
like?
how tragic.
For real. What's that like?
and
First the
This
meat, now the
is-
luck. You're going to get turned on real quick.
using my spell casting, which I'm still not wearing my armor yet. That still has not been put on. So I will have my full spell casting points. So that's
Excellent.
8 for spell casting plus my will. So that's 8 plus 9 is 17, correct? Yes. Plus 17 plus 2. So that's 19 plus 26.
You feel Axie, you feel the lack of resistance, the spell, the quick sign of spell takes hold. What is your question? This is, I will remind you, Axie is used for persuasion, so keep that in mind with your wording.
When we release you, what is your intent? Where will you go?
I am to travel to Dol Blathana.
And very well. Should Renwick capture you along the way, will you tell him of us?
Should he capture me along the way, I'm afraid I will have very little choice. My body, my mind. I know my limitations, Lady Witcher.
Is your decision...
I'm going to stop you right there for a second.
Mhm.
Axie is going to need to be recast. As the effects of Axie will only last, I believe, I want to say a round. So feel free to correct me on that. That would be 2 seconds in Witcher time. So I will kind of round that up quite a bit and allow you 2 questions. And we'll assume he's answering very quickly.
This is like Speak with Dead. Okay.
So, this is going to rely a little bit on your stamina pool.
Trying to think if she actually has any other questions outside of those 2.
Does he
those
have-
2...
Are there other mages in Renwick's
Very good.
employ?
Yeah, you guys can feel free to throw questions out. You guys would have discussed some of this stuff during the preparation of the deer and the tea. And
Flashbacks.
Yeah, Relg's hanging back because all he knows is Renwick's bad and fuck mages, except for Cersei. He's just sitting there with his dagger and his cubes of venison. It's great. He's having a good time.
So yes, we'll cast Axie again. Do you require another roll?
I won't. There's no resistance. The roll was so you could a mechanical purpose to gauge kind of like where you feel. You can feel the effects of this. You can feel the how well you've cast this, and you can tell that the answers he's giving, you have persuaded him to keep truthful in this moment. So you cast it again, reduce your stamina by however much you need.
Okay. She's going to ask with this next one, how many other mages other than yourself are under Renwick's command?
I am the only one.
Were there any other questions that would have been told to Ingrid to ask? Now, speak now. or forever
Does he
hold
have
your peace?
weaknesses? Does he have blind spots?
Does he
Any-
have?
Why is the
Anything
book
along
so
those lines?
important to him?
Does he have any weaknesses, blind spots? Anybody important to him outside of Herrn Kaduk?
No one is important to him.
Other than himself.
I know. I have a question.
That's 2. I'm gonna have to cast it again, by the way.
I'm sorry. It's real
It's okay.
important.
It's okay. It's okay.
Got that fat recovery action.
You do have a recovery action.
The binding ritual. How does it work? The one that bound them all together so they couldn't hurt each other. The vampires.
I'm gonna ask first, because I'm willing to make this 2 questions. Does he even know about the binding ritual?
I'm not going to count that towards your questions, as that was discussed with Elodie. She conveyed to Cersei, and you guys have discussed it up to this point when Yoko was still around.
Need some time.
Renwick is the one that sort of not came up with, but commissioned the binding ritual. So that is knowledge you would have already had. I'm not going to charge you for that.
Okay, got you. What was your question one more time, Cersei?
Trying to word it.
Word this like you're trying to wish on a genie.
I know. It's oh, this is a lot for me.
Because you know Ramos will take advantage of the wording.
I'm trying real hard. How-
Oh,
How does the binding ritual work, and can it be broken?
boom, boom.
It is already broken. It broke when you killed Gwyn. But it gives no indication. So the recipients of this curse are none the wiser that it is broken.
The Renwick himself still believes it's functional.
I imagine he understands that Gwyn's magic is gone upon his death.
I pretty much consumed his heart. Yes? Oh, you held up the fingers, so I was like...
No, go on, please.
No, I was just gonna... No, that's all Ingrid says. She's like, I did pretty much consume his heart.
Why does he want the book? That's what Rob was asking.
Why does we know why you want it, but why does Renwick want the book?
Reduce your stamina a third, casting of Anxie.
Recovery. Gonna take the big nap.
I'm down to 22 stamina out of 50, by the way, so yeah, we're gonna need
You have
a big
50
nap.
stamina.
Yeah, Witcher.
What?
I thought I had high stamina. Anyway, continue.
Rubbing in the stamina and the luck? Jeez, Rico, come on.
I like that. I like that the only retort to that was, yeah, Witcher.
It's a valid retort, honestly.
It is. Guess why does he want the book?
To fulfill his deal with the creatures that lurk in the frost.
The Wild Hunt.
What deal is
Was that the next question?
it? Do you have a question, Ingrid? A follow-up question?
This is all on you. I asked the 2 or 3 that I wanted to know. Ingrid's satisfied.
I've been thinking about this for many weeks. What's the deal? What deal is that?
To begin anew. To purge this world. To freeze the land where only the strong will survive. To keep some hidden alive and as subjects, and allow the riders to take freely.
I would like to, because that's 2 questions for the 3rd cast, right? Already? I would like to cast it a 4th time.
Brain.
Oh, we're actually testing this at this point. Where is Renwick keeping Elodie in Herrn Kaduk?
You can see he begins to try to formulate a pathway in his head, and then he stops and says, "Where they keep the monsters." Ingrid, where they keep the monsters. He says this because he realizes that you know where they keep the monsters. Yep. Witchers, in their golden age, well, just past what was really their golden age, when they separated into schools, continued their alchemical pursuits. Without mages, it was not as fruitful. However, mutagens study is a big part of Witcher academics.
Yep, the cages.
Cages at the base of the mountain in Hernkaduk, where the castle and the masonry meets the hard, cold stone that the gods have formed.
Nobody should be kept there. Ingrid is just going to look very... Sarah, so you notice how troubled Ingrid looks. This is probably the most bothered she's been in a little bit. And then with the last question that she's going to have for this one, because it's just occurring to me now, she's just going to say, last night when you were telling me about how you enjoyed the deaths of my brothers, my family, were you being truthful?
That's crazy.
What was your original roll, Ingrid? 27?
26.
26.
26, 27. Somewhere in that ballpark, yeah.
Pretty sure it was 26.
Let's take the higher number that Ramos said.
Yeah, no, 27. It came out of Ramos, God King's mouth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Your kind are a blight.
Ingrid tenses up, fists clenching at her side. And she's just going to stand and look down at him. And she's going to say, I know. And she's going to look to Cersei, Calmus, and Relg and say, "Do what you wish, I'm satisfied," and start walking back to the campfire. I'm sorry, I assumed that was all the questions anybody had.
Yeah. No, that's a good place to stop.
Relg has one question, but he wasn't going to waste it on Axie. You want me to take the cuffs off him now? Or
Sorry, what was that?
do you want me to take the cuffs off him now? Or
Oh, phews. Yeah, I guess.
so Relg's going to lean down, start fiddling with the rope, and kind of lean in. Last night, when you were having your private concert, you mentioned a duchess. That was causing some problems. I was just curious who that was.
She was the Duchess of Sedaris.
Relg starts to like wind the rope super tight around his hand. Wonderful. Good to know. She's not just going after.
You know her?
Fairly well.
My condolences.
Same to you. Well, good to know she's still alive. Means I get to kill her.
She's worse now.
She always wanted greatness. Makes sense that she'd make a great bitch. Hans. And Rogue will start taking the cuffs off.
Can I prepare an action?
Can I?
Sure.
But it's conditional, so it won't happen if he's amicable.
Yeah, same. Ingrid is like, she's gonna look towards them from a little bit of a distance and have her steel sword in hand, kind of just in the ground, playing with the hilt a little bit, covered in blood, looking at him.
What are the actions and what is the trigger?
Should he attack? My trigger will be should he attack any of us. Ingrid is going to do what was that very fun move that I did? Where was it? That takes a full thing. Charge. She's going to charge him.
No, I think that's enough. I think that'll do it. I'll just be standing there.
Relk, you remove the cuffs, these dimeridium shackles.
Mm-hmm.
There is a relief, clear as day, on his face as he rubs what looks like the singed flesh, the black veins where the cuffs were touching, where these creaks emanate from. And he looks at all of you one by one.
I think Calamus will approach him. It seems our business is done then. Let me walk you a ways up the road together.
He stands. He's not an imposing man. Where are his things?
Oh, Cersei had she would have gathered the bag up with his gold and
We're
with
really
his
giving him
fifth
the money?
essence.
You don't need that. We need that. You don't need that.
I do need that, but
It's the toll for living.
she will have his things prepared in hand.
So, to be clear, 12 fifth essence.
It was 12, I thought it was 7.
I'm sorry. 7. Apologies.
Oh, okay.
Whoops.
Still
You
giving
got
away
real
lot of
excited
fifth
for a second.
essence.
About to like miss.
Could have just glossed it over and been like, yes, 12. I will
Nope.
take that.
You
No,
don't have to give him back all of it.
No, my own scribblings sometimes lie to me. If that's okay.
That's okay.
7 fifth essence. 26 crown.
Mm-hmm.
Is this returned to him?
Yes, and the box.
Don't forget his little fidget spinner.
Yeah.
The box. The marching orders.
No.
No, fuck that. I'm igning that.
I'm gonna put it in the fire.
Less fun,
The
but
ring.
okay.
No. Wait, I could ask what it was. No.
I can cast Axie again. Well, no, I'm holding my action. So
I'm keeping the ring. I hope he forgets about it.
Clay jar.
She'll hold it. She'll be holding it in the other hand. And just simply ask, what is this? I'm curious.
Just smile. It's smug.
She'll like hold it back a little bit.
That. Cersei Evelyn is a spell jar.
Oh, I figured that. What's in it?
I have no way of knowing.
Oh?
It's untamed chaos.
Oh.
that sounds like a very last-ditch effort sort of weapon to have.
Yes.
A last resort indeed, yes. May I? Yeah, she'll hand her the things over.
Ingrid pulls up her sword just in case.
There are 2 items that I have not asked about quite yet. His alchemy set. What
Oh,
is
he did
left
have.
of it?
He had bits and bobs of it.
Mhm.
We have our own alchemy set. We don't need his, right?
But what about replacement parts?
I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to put up a good face.
No, Relg really wants to keep him now. Send him on his way.
The succubus breath.
Wait,
There was succubus breath?
I'm
That wasn't in
sorry.
my notes?
I'm sorry. Like the wand?
No. Succubus breath is a alchemical.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
apologies, a concoction of sorts.
Oh,
I do not remember you saying that. from
Yeah,
the
I don't
session.
either. And
In
the
truth,
wand
I
is a
may have-
succubus wand.
In truth, I may have missed it, so but
Gotcha.
feel free to write it down now if you wish to keep it.
What
Would
does
we?
it do?
Yeah, can I roll what it does?
It's real good at letting you seduce people.
That makes sense. That tracks.
I would say,
So
yeah,
it-
with with magical training, you could absolutely determine it's not the rarest of substances.
Ingrid could use that instead of needing Axie.
Why don't we walk you a little ways down the road? Why don't I walk you a little ways down the road?
I'll come with you.
Please
So-
don't.
He will walk with you, Calamus.
You're the one who.
While they walk away, Ingrid's gonna go up to Relg and just be like, "Do you want to follow from the shadows?"
You were pretty quiet, weren't you? Yeah.
Surprisingly.
You're gonna be all right here, Cersei.
She'll pull the ring out of her pocket, fiddle with it. Yeah, I'll be okay.
Wait. You know the 1,000, 2,000.
You wait before continuing behind your ally. I would have loved if Cersei would have been like cloak, and then all three just like watching from the shadows.
Yeah, you
We're
got
nosy
this,
bitches.
buddy.
Come on, Luna. We're nosy bitches. Let's go.
That would have been really funny.
So you wait, and I will have stealth rolls from you now. Calamus, you may feel free to make an awareness roll.
Calamus explicitly said please don't because he knew Rogue would anyway, but wanted to have good footing with Wezrel. So he's not even gonna look. He's very sure that Relg is nearby.
Understood.
21.
This is a very common move for us. So
22.
21 and 22. Let's go.
Oh, he exploded. That's crazy.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not gonna say that on stream.
21.
Your inside thoughts inside.
Type it out for us in the Witcher chat.
21.
No.
So,
Coward.
Meets does not beat. Who rolled the 21? Excellent. He does not know you're there, Ingrid. So, I'm sorry, 21 and 22, was it? Or was it 20 and 20? Okay, cool.
It
He
was
does not
21
know
and 22.
either of you are there.
Yes.
We are the shadows.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Calamus.
Yeah. Once we get a little ways away, since Calamus still had his music box, Calamus will reach in his bag and hold it out to him. I want you to know, of all the treasures in all the world that I have seen, this is the greatest. I envy you carrying such a thing. Many folk just would look at this and find a tawdry little thing. But a constant reminder that the ember of your people is a light in your breast. It's no small thing. I hope the best for you, Wezrel.
Hope. Is what you said. Gives the most in fight. He will reach and take the box. You can see Calamus, he holds it gingerly, almost in revelry. And the moment it leaves your palm, he moves his second hand to cradle the box.
I know you can protect yourself with magic. But it is a long road to Dol Blathana. Can you keep yourself dry and warm?
Warmth has never been trouble for me. He will sort of flash a hand, and fire will hesitate between the two of you before it dissipates.
Then take this to keep yourself dry. And Calamus will unclasp his dwarven traveling cloak, put it around his shoulders. I will see you again, Wezrond.
A fine garment. He doesn't take it, Calamus. If you are intent if your intent is to fight, you will need this. And if I am to run, the weight of what you give me will only slow me.
If you insist. But I am protected by deeper and older magics than even Renwick can conjure. Love fills my belly. Friendship shields me from the rain. Belief keeps my back dry and my face to the sun. And the knotwork of the ancient skelegons is on my skin. I'm much more worried about you, my new friend. You said it yourself. You're alone. For now. But where you are going, you will find folk that, despite the weight you bear on your shoulders, will lift you up so that your fingertips may skim the bellies of the eagles. So I will keep it if you insist. But I don't think I'll need it where I'm going.
I pray that you're right. But forgive me, I'm new to hope. So I'll ask that you do keep it. Friendship, love, these things, I'm not so sure they will shield you. So take this more substantial garment. And he reaches into his bag and pulls out the clay jar and a weapon should you find yourself surrounded. It is not so dangerous that you should wait until the very last moment. Don't make yourself a hero in one of your own stories. But do be careful, it is only clay.
As you say. I do have a question about this. It's John. You said it is untamed chaos. I know very little about magic, but I know that word, at least. Is there a way to take it in? To gain the abilities that the mages have? Imbibing.
If there is, it will take a stronger mage than I. He glances over your shoulder and back at camp to grant a minstrel magic.
Noted.
But to do so would be a fool thing. And if the stories are true, Calamus Acarus is no fool.
Calamus Acarus's father would disagree with you. May your road lead to warm forests and summer days, my old friend.
I'm glad that the whispers and the tales of you, minstrel, are far less than what you are.
I would give you but one more parting word. Tales are just pleasant lies. There is one problem with being a great teller of tales. It is that you become a great liar. So much so that you even begin to believe your own lies. Farewell, Wezrel.
Goodbye, minstrel. Be well and be safe. He speaks a few more words in elder speech and performs a quick, complex hand movement with both of his hands. And in a flash of flame, he is gone.
Gwyn Petal. Helmus will look down at this clay jar in his hands. put it inside of one of the little secret pockets in his jacket. Turn around. You can come out now. I know you're somewhere around.
Ingrid,
Uh,
how
I
did
was
he
muted.
know you were there?
You can go back to camp if you want, Ingrid.
no, Ingrid is gonna be Ingrid. She thinks that he's talking to her for a second, and she will step out of the brush first and be like, how did you know I was there?
Ingrid! You're so large. How are you so quiet?
Years of practicing hunting. I am almost 60 in a week. I'll be 60.
Happy birthday?
It's not yet. It's the
Early birthday.
25th.
Relg, I don't mean to interrupt. Please continue after I pass along some brief information. Relg, I would be bereft to not detail certain things in this session. Important details must be told. In this moment, Relg, you realize you have an opportunity to do something you haven't done in quite some time, and that is get the drop on Calamus Acarus, who has long since understood that you will always be in the shadows, that you will always be the one tailing him or trailing him. But Ingrid has just taken that. Perhaps there is a possibility that the surprise of Ingrid revealing herself, he doesn't suspect you that you're there. Please continue.
Yes, years of hunting with a sword, because I am rubbish with a bow, has taught me to be quiet on my feet when I need to be. Out of armor, of course. It's hard to sneak in armor.
I see that. Well, shit.
Are you okay?
You were not who I was expecting, but that's quite all right.
If you look back, Rogue's not where he was.
Ingrid is looking around, and she's just going to be, oh, yes, I expected to see Relg here as well, but I do not see him.
So did I. Ingrid, so did I. Well, let's walk and talk, I guess.
Of course, yes. I just wanted to make sure that you were safe.
I would like to apologize first.
For what?
I was perhaps not kind in my speech surrounding how we dealt with the Bruxa. That
Well,
is your area of expertise, and I should trust you.
I appreciate it, though I would be a liar if I said that your reaction was not the first time something like that has happened. Many people have off reactions to some of the things that I have to hunt.
Do they have feelings the way that we do?
Some of them do, yes, and I mentioned it a bit when I was talking at the campfire, where I don't like to prejudge normally when it comes to those that I hunt that could be of a sentient nature. Not all are, mind you, There's a lot of creatures in these wilds that just run off base instinct and nothing more than desires to kill and maim. Vampires are one of the ones that have the potential for sentient nature. Not all, but some, especially the higher kind. With creatures like that, I tend to judge based around action and what I can see. Bruxa are of a similar example to that. The reason I was so willing to strike her, and I understand that you did not see this happen, but she attacked me first.
I never doubted that for a moment. When I saw that what is the proper parlance?
It is just like with humans, gender is whatever they decide to present as.
When I saw her attack Cersei, or pose to attack Cersei again, I leapt into action the same way.
You did quite well. I was very impressed.
You've gotten a lot better. And Rogue's gonna throw an arm around Callum's shoulder.
I
think
I hate it when you do that. I hate it when you do that. More than anything. More than anything in the world, I hate it when you do precisely that.
Precisely this. All right, I'll make sure no contact. I'll just Rogue kind of put his hands under his cloak.
Calamus will noticeably, like, there's a bit of blush that rises to his cheeks before he kind of shakes it away.
Do I notice that?
It's not trying to hide. I mean, he's trying to dismiss it quickly, but hiding it really isn't an option.
What's your...
My human perception is 4. And my empathy is 7, so that would be 11 base.
I'd say you probably pick up on it quickly, but...
Maybe we'll see it and make a note.
Maybe though, next time you don't rush in with a sword and start swinging at something you don't know how to kill. Although you did good. I'm not trying to undermine the work you did there, but
I understand. I can't allow someone in danger to stay there, regardless of my familiar. It's normal size. We've had this conversation. It's the same size as everyone else's.
Then why does it keep bleeding all over the floor?
Ingrid looks exceptionally confused right now.
Ask my mother. Anyway, just
what is going on right now? I will say, to be perfectly fair, I'm a what is it called, trained professional in this instance, and I set myself on fire by accident. It happens to the best of us.
I'm
curious. Ingrid, it very much does.
I'm curious.
Normally, it's what gets us into trouble half the time.
Why? Never mind. That's not of any import.
Why? You're gonna keep thinking about it, and then you're gonna wake me up in the middle of the night, and I'm already very tired. So I'd prefer to have this conversation now.
As somebody who is constantly thinking about everything at a very rapid pace, I completely understand that. Just say what you mean.
I like you.
Oh, you're very nice.
Let's not go that far.
Why are we? Why are we taking this route? To fight Renwick?
Because we're...
And I mean no offense or disrespect. Is it because this is the only way you know?
This route isn't the way we're going? The way we're
No,
traveling? We're trying to find...
I mean, hunting his servants and...
Because I
Is
made
that
an
what
oath.
we're doing? What are we really doing, I guess, is probably a more proper question.
If I remember right, Cersei and Ingrid were talking about relics, like the book.
Our goal is to become stronger. The relics that we hunt are along the way, but our goal is Bear Keep, Heron Kaduk, my home, where Renwick and his hench people, lackeys, lie. And I say my home. I was born around the Amel Mountains, just south. He has taken everything from me, but that is not the only reason for this.
I understand the why of why we're fighting. Ingrid.
You're worried about the people?
The people, I'm also worried. She's fighting with something that she's kind of had her mind on for a long time. And then she's just going to say it. But she's going to preface this with, please do not tell Cersei what I am about to say.
If she asks, I won't keep a secret. So perhaps I should dismiss myself for the moment.
We can
Discretion is the better part of both friendship and valor.
If she let me put it this way, if she knows what to ask, then it is too late already. So that is
maybe.
okay. Just don't directly tell her.
Maybe, Cal, you go check to see how Cersei is, and Ingrid and I can continue this conversation.
I think that's a great plan. Forgive me, Ingrid, I am horrible at keeping secrets.
Cool. Ingrid is just going to furrow her brow a little bit, and she's going to say, I'm not either, but...
Calamus will trot on up ahead to check on Cersei.
All right, Lady Witcher, what was it?
She's going to say, the person that we are seeking to save from Renwick, I asked her to look on him. I asked her to go check on Bear Keep. I asked her to be there. I am the reason why she is captured.
All right, let's start with one thing. You might have asked, but you didn't do those things to her.
That action... You may be right, but I still must do what I can. Cersei's happiness and Elodie's happiness are important to me.
Understand.
And this is, with them, they have a chance. They are one of the few people in this world that I've seen that have a chance at true happiness. A chance that was stolen from me. And I will not be part of the cause that it is stolen from them.
No, I'm not sure exactly how much happiness there is in this world, but if someone's got a chance at it, they should take it.
Speaking of, are you and Calamus a thing?
Are we? What do you mean?
Are you together?
No, he's got some lady he writes to.
Fascinating.
He won't tell me anything about it, though.
One thing that I have come to understand is that love and emotion is a very complex thing. It goes over my head more often than not, but the way he looked when you touched him reminded me a little bit of...
What are you talking about?
Blush. the reaction that he had.
That's just Cal.
Very true. You could be very right. I've only known either of you for a day or so, but
I believe we're going on 3 days, which has lasted longer than most of my relationships. So
I have only had, well, if we could, well, I guess the word relationship could be used for many sorts of things.
that's
Love
how
life, I've
I'm.
only
That's how I'm using it right now. Given
understood.
who I it's very rare for something like that to happen. And the last time, well, she didn't take my rejection too well.
I am sorry. She actually asked that like it has a question mark at the end of it.
It'll get resolved one way or another. Hopefully fiery, but beggars can't be choosers.
As
Yes.
this
Yes.
conversation persists,
Did the food show up?
we take a quick peek. Cersei, you were left alone in the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you were up to?
She is sitting at the edge of the cart, kicking her feet, studying the ring. I want to use magic training.
Details, please.
A mage can roll magical training whenever they encounter a magical phenomenon, unknown spell, or question of magical theory. I imagine that also pertains to magic items. The DC is set by the GM, and a success allows the mage to recall everything they know about this phenomenon. It can also be rolled as a form of awareness that detects magic that is in use or specters.
By all means. As a reminder, your luck
I'll
is
use all three of
still
it.
present.
Yeah, I'll use all three luck. Okay.
I promise not to joke about luck.
Oh, okay, yes. Intelligence, so it's 16 plus 8 is numbers. 16. 24.
24. Cersei, what does this look like if the world was watching? While you fiddle, while you recall magical training, what does the world see as you inspect this item?
Cersei is looking very closely at it, looking at inscriptions, looking at if it has a gem, looking deeply into it, holding it up to the sun, and just thinking.
You do this. It does indeed have a gem, a smooth red surface, but not where a gem should be on a ring. Normally these things are added for adornment, for flash, for show. However, this is on the interior of the ring, smooth against its surface. Running your finger across it, there's no overlay or there's no overlap, there's no ridge. A garnet, perhaps. A incredibly well cut ruby. No. This is blood. Hardened, coagulated, smoothed. This is the blood of whoever wishes to watch, to see, to feel, to know, to keep track of this individual who bears this ring. To put it on is to put their blood in contact with you, to let them feel you from across the distances. They will know your emotions, your health, if you are well, if you're afraid, or if you're in danger.
Okay. Would I don't know if I could dig a little deeper or think about the craftsmanship of the ring, but do I know if I'd be able to replace the blood inside of it?
That, Miss Aveline, is a question for next time.
Oh no.
This is where we'll close today's episode of Ways of Old. Thank you very much for watching, and thank all of you very much for playing. You did wonderfully. We'll go around the room and get some plugs in. So, we begin with Ingrid.
You're muted.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I am the Azure Butterfly, or Azure for short, or simply Rachel. You can find me here on at the azurebutterfly.ttv. I am also the creative director over at the Rolling Nomads. You'll find me here in Ways of Old as Ingrid, and also on Transylvania Beckons as Jill. And I have my own show on Rolling Nomads called Azure Storytelling Studio, where I break down all my favorite games, movies, and books. Yeah, that's me.
Excellent. We will, of course, move up to Calamus.
Hello. It is me. This evening I have been the debonair debutante, Calanus Acros. In my real life, in my day-to-day, I'm Avery. I'm working on getting everything ready on my Twitch to start playing video games, so keep an eye for that shit out there. I'm also the storyteller for Transylvania Beckons right here on the Rolling Nomads channel. Thank you guys all for being here, and go ahead and pass it over to the next one.
Brings us over to Cersei Aveline.
Hi, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. I stream on Twitch. You should watch me. I am the social media director for the Rolling Nomads. I play as Rosalind in Transylvania Beckons. And I think that's me in a handbasket.
Interesting terminology. Brings us, of course, to Relg Gwyn.
Hello. Today I've been Relg. Next week I'm going to hurt a bard's feelings. But in my life, I am as I was, because I think I'm funny on social media. You can find me here at this show, which you can catch those because I just saw that Ramos got a bunch of those uploaded on the YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm also on Transylvania Beckons. I play Jack. You should check that out because it's about to get messy. And I outro finger guns. I don't know. Ramos, who are you? I'm sorry if that's a loaded question.
God, who am I? I have been your game master, Gilbert Ramos. I am found everywhere on the internet at Ramos the Nomad. That's TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Blue Sky, all of the social media things, including Instagram, but I'll never use it. So, that's me. We, of course, have been the Rolling Nomads. You can find us right here on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads, as well as over on Twitter at _Rolling Nomads. Twitter is the best way to keep up to date with us for our uploads, our starting stream times and such like that, our cancellations, our late starts, our new programming, all that good stuff goes over there on Twitter for the time being. Are we on Blue Sky yet? I don't know.
No, I'm working on it.
I am so sorry. Didn't mean to like put you on the spot. We'll eventually be there too. We also have TikTok, where our social media director is posting up our clips from our games, any interesting key moments and things like that, as well as over on our Instagram that will eventually get reels, and I will eventually also give that some love because I don't want to be on my own Instagram, so I might as well put that energy somewhere. So that's all where you can find us. Did I get everything? I think I got everything.
You got everything.
So, that is us in a handbasket, and I gotta find a new phrase.
Never.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for hanging out and sticking around. Stick around for a little longer. We're gonna find someone to raid that is possibly doing TTRPG things or Witcher-related things, and we're gonna spread some nomadic love. We will catch you guys next time. Same time, same place, same heroes. We'll see you then.